This is a Fonzie Studio podcast. Welcome to Tales from the First Nations. I'm Jay Idle, and every week I'll share with you a tale and ancient wisdom of the native tribes of North America. I'll be joined by my cats, Dawa and Fonzie, who will undoubtedly make their presence known at some point, so I might as well just list them as co-hosts. We hope you'll enjoy the tales and wisdom, raise your vibration, and enrich your life with us every week. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the 28th episode of Tales from the First Nations. I'm your host, Jay Idle. I sat down to read the news today and came across an article about a bird known as the Common Murre. It's sad news, actually. This is a bird that I know nothing about. Other than this article, I'd never even heard of them. But what caught my eye was that it's at the center of the worst single-species mortality event in modern history, and scientists say that they won't recover. See, the ocean waters are getting warmer, and the marine heat have killed off half of their Alaskan populations. And this means not only trouble for them, but also for the ecosystem that they're a part of. So today, I thought it'd be nice to look at this bird. It's sad because it's strongly connected with the Inuit and Yupik people. And it's really sad, right? So if you're like me and you had no idea what a Common Murre is, well, let's take a look at them briefly. Common Murres are also known as common guillemots. They're found along the coast of the North Atlantic and North Pacific Oceans. And you can find them along the eastern coast of North America from the Arctic regions of Canada down to the northeastern United States. You'll also find them on the west coast from Alaska all the way down to California. They can be found along the coast of Russia, Japan, and other parts of East Asia, as well as Europe, along the coast of Greenland, Iceland, and the British Isles, Scandinavia, and down to France. Now, Common Murres prefer rocky cliffs and offshore islands for nesting, and they are excellent divers. They spend much of their time at sea, foraging for fish and other marine life. They can fly, and they can swim, plus they're beautiful birds. I don't know if you've ever looked at one, but they are striking. They're black with white bellies, and I have to say their eggs are pretty cute. I have to say the word cute to describe their eggs. There's various shades from white to bright blue with these little black specks on them. They're pretty cool. If I was diligent, then I might have remembered to post a picture of this bird with the episode of the podcast. That was my goal when I pressed record. I found the picture on oceana.org. It's not my picture. I don't own it. I swiped it from the internet. But it's a beautiful bird, and I think people should see it. Now, the Inuit and Yupik have traditionally hunted Common Murres for food. These birds were an important part of their diet, especially during the summer months when they were more abundant. The Common Murre skins were also highly valued and used to make clothing, especially coats. So once again, there was a level of connectedness between the people and nature that we kind of don't have anymore, unfortunately. Now, when it comes to our story for today, I did not find a story specific to the Common Murre. However, I did find an Inuit tale called The Man Who Mated Himself with a Seafowl. I figure a seafowl is not particularly specific, so maybe we can, squint a little and pretend that it was a Common Murre. Now, this story is quite interesting to me for a couple of reasons. Not only the Common Murre connection that I'm trying to tie in, but also I've heard a very similar legend from the Celtic tradition. But rather than a bird, the man marries a mermaid. But regardless of that, today's story is about a seafowl, or if we squint a little, a Common Murre. An old bachelor used to amuse himself by playing with skulls of seals and pretending that they were his children. When he went out kayaking, he put them down on the beach, and having placed himself in his kayak, he would say to them, "Now mind you, be good children, and go straight up to the house." And on still finding them in the same place on his return, he would cry out, "You seem to be all deaf and dumb. Did not I tell you to keep off from the waters before I set off?" And taking hold of one of the heads, he threw it into the sea. "Look, there's your little brother fallen in the water." Another time, feeling himself very sad and lonely, he went running far away into the country and happened to fall in with a great many women bathing in a lake. At this sight, an idea seized him, and silently he stole away to the place where they had put their clothes, securing those belonging to the one he thought the prettiest, and then stepped boldly forward. When the women saw him, they hurried back to their clothes, and having put them on, they immediately changed into birds and flew away. Only she, who had been robbed of her clothes, remained behind, and the bachelor went straight up to her, asking her, "Would you like to be my wife?" And in return, she said, "Yes, you may take me if you like, only give me back my clothes." She then got them, but he kept hold of her, lest she too should fly away. When she had dressed herself, he took her home and married her. The next morning, he did not venture out into his kayak for fear she might fly away. And thus it happened that he gave up kayaking altogether, until one day she declared, "Now you may leave me without fear, for I do really love you, and you may depend on me." And then he again began to go out seal hunting. Soon she gave birth to a son, and when he grew up, another son was born. But afterwards they had no more children. When the children grew up, the mother sometimes took them out walking, and on the way she would tell them to gather bird wings and feathers, saying, "Children, ye are akin to birds." On a certain day, she fastened a pair of these wings upon one of the boys, who was at once changed into a seafowl and flew away. She did the same thing to his brother. And last of all, she herself put on wings and followed them in the shape of a seafowl. When the old husband came home, he found neither wife nor children, at which he grew very sad. However, he continued to go out in his kayak, although he no longer chased seals. One day, he put in close to a sand hill, and leaving his kayak on the beach, he crossed the hill and went a good way into the country. Looking around, he saw a man with his back turned towards him, working away at a piece of timber with his axe. The old man had hoped this man had seen his wife and sons, so he addressed him, saying, "You shall have my new kayak if you will inform me whether you have seen 3 people." But the man answered, "I don't care for your new kayak. I have not seen the 3 persons you speak of." The old man again said to him, "I see you are working in wood, and I will give you my new axe. Only let me know whether you have seen 3 people." "Well, my axe is rather worn. Go and sit on the tail of a salmon in the river. But when you hear the voices of children, mind you, don't open your eyes." The old man obeyed and sat down on the tail of a salmon, shutting his eyes. On hearing a rushing sound, he opened his eyes a little and noticed that he was carried along by a rapid current. He shut them again, and all was silent. He again heard the noise of children crying, "Alas, our father is near!" And the mother answered them, "No, we left your father without any means of conveying him here." The children, however, repeated, "Our father is coming." The father now got on shore and went to a house with fine windows. He observed that those inside were all women. Close to the back, there was his wife, sitting, and opposite her a man with a pug nose, constantly repeating, "Will you not marry me?" But the woman answered, "No, I already have got a husband." All the rest now left the house, and only those 2 remained. At last, when the fellow with the pug nose had left also, the old man made an attempt to take his wife back, but she quickly followed the others out. And while he pursued her, she was transformed into a gull, as were the rest of the women. The pug-nosed man was changed into a wild duck, and when the discarded husband turned around, he saw that the house had been transformed into a gull's hill. I can't say I much care for the trickery of the man in forcing the woman to be his wife, but in the end, she got away with her children, so that's good. It's not quite a story about a common murre, but it was the best I could do. So, for those of you who are fortunate enough to live in the area where you might see a common murre, appreciate it. Take photos, share it with your family, with your children especially, because at some point, they may not be with us anymore. Thank you for joining me on my journey while I'm still here and on this podcast. I wish you well and look forward to sharing another story with you next week. Go in peace, return in peace, and may you be well. Our story today came from sacredtexts.com, sacred-texts, texts.com. For more great stories and legends, check out the Jaguar Bird channel on YouTube. There's a lot of really good content on there. And of course, you can join me right here next week for another story on Tales from the First Nations. I'm Jay Idle, and I will talk to you next time. Music is provided by my dear friend Scott Brocklesby, who composed the song you are listening to right now. And our podcast image was provided by Mark Lawton. If you see the moon, but if I remembered to put the picture of the Common Murre, then by golly, that was provided, whether they like it or not, from oceana.org. Have a wonderful week. I look forward to seeing you again next time. All right, that's it. How'd we do, Dawa?
Awesome.
Phones? Excellent. Then I'll share it.